The CEO took a bite of the food made by the nanny, only to find that it tasted exactly like the food his late wife used to make. He suddenly realized that his wife might still be alive, and very likely was the new nanny in the house. It turned out that 20 years ago, the CEO was just a poor young man. To provide a better life for his wife and the child in her womb, he left his wife in the countryside, and went to the big city to make a living alone. Just as his career was beginning to take off, his mother started to look down on his wife as a country girl unworthy of her son, and handed her a divorce agreement, lying that her husband wanted to divorce her. The woman didn't believe that her husband would abandon her, and decided to go to the city to confront him. The mother-in-law, fearing the truth would come out, and made her put her fingerprint on the divorce agreement. As the mother-in-law got into the car to leave, she heard the cry of a baby after childbirth. She rushed forward and snatched the child from the woman's arms. Upon discovering it was a boy, she was very excited, and then took the boy away from there. At this moment, the husband was preparing to go to the countryside to reunite with his wife. His mother found him, lying that the woman had died after complications from childbirth. The CEO felt that everything was so unreal. At that moment, his mother handed him the child, and looking at the baby left by his wife, the CEO vowed to raise the child, so that his wife's spirit could rest in peace. Unbeknownst to him, his wife collects garbage all day long for a living. One day, the woman accidentally heard a baby crying. When she got closer, she found it was an abandoned baby. Thinking about how she had just lost her own child, she believed this baby was a gift from heaven. She took the baby home to raise. 18 years passed in the blink of an eye. Due to complications from childbirth, the woman's health had deteriorated significantly over the years. Fortunately, her adopted daughter grew up to be very understanding, often going to the bar to clean up after school to help with household expenses. But one day, she received a call from the bar, saying her daughter had offended a customer. It turned out that a rich second-generation heir had seen the girl cleaning in the bar. He didn't expect the usually outstanding female classmate to be working there, so he picked up his phone to record a video to show off to his classmates. The girl angrily knocked the heir's phone away, which infuriated him. Claiming that she damaged his property, he called for the woman. The woman had no idea that the heir was the son taken away by her mother-in-law back then. Seeing the woman's disfigured face, the heir began to mock her, claiming she was just a trash collector and only worthy of a daughter who was also trash. The girl retorted that at least she still had her mother's love, unlike the heir who had never had a mother. Hearing this, the heir was filled with anger and humiliation, thinking that such an ugly woman would protect her adopted daughter. He couldn't understand why his mother had abandoned him. At that moment, the heir felt a deep sorrow, and the scene of the mother-daughter bond made him even angrier. He vowed to share the newly recorded video with his classmates. Worried about her daughter's reputation, the woman pleaded with the heir to delete the video. The heir demanded that she kneel and bow to him to plead for mercy, if she wanted him to consider deleting the video. The girl urged her adoptive mother not to kneel, but the woman, fearing her daughter would be expelled from school, eventually kneel in front of the heir and begged for mercy. Just then, the sky suddenly lit up with flashes of lightning and thunder. This scene frightened the heir, unaware that forcing his biological mother to kneel would bring divine retribution. The girl would rather be expelled from school than see her adoptive mother humiliated, and in anger, slapped the heir. The heir immediately called his father, the CEO, to come to the bar and teach the mother and daughter a lesson. The CEO, who was busy, didn't have time to go, but suddenly heard a familiar voice on the other end of the phone, realizing the woman sounded just like his wife who had been missing for 20 years. At that moment, the woman was still pleading with the heir, hoping he would delete the video and spare them. Soon after, the CEO drove to the bar, initially angry at his son for causing trouble, but the next second, he saw the woman standing across from him, looking just like his wife from 20 years ago, so he slowly walked toward her.